Hello. Hello. It's been a minute. How's everyone doing? I see JT and Yeet Yeet Beck. What's going on, guys? How you guys doing? I kind of disappeared there for a bit, but we'll figure this out again. It's gonna be a little bit clunky. I'm gonna go ahead and just warn everyone. It's gonna be pretty clunky at first. While I figure things out. I have no clue what my layouts even look like. I think I recreated them for Scarlet Violet, maybe? Kept the stash. Of course. Can't get rid of it. Thought this boy was retiring. No, Juan, you just called it. I think we ended the last stream with you going, bye everyone, see you in a few months when he streams again. And I went, no, I'll be back tomorrow. And then I just was not mentally able to stream again tomorrow. So we're back. I watched you back in 7th grade. You've grown so much. Now you're graduating from high school. Yo, that's crazy. Congrats on that, man. It's wild. It's wild to think about that. Yeah, I've been streaming for over 5 years now, which is kind of crazy to think about. Oh, cat's in my lap now. She was circling like a shark. I gotta stop calling things out. Juan, just call out shinies, man. But yeah, how you guys doing? How's life been for everyone? I figure we can kind of just vibe for a little bit before we really get into the stream. Cause yeah, I don't know. It's been months really since we've talked, and hung out. Obviously, enough time for things to have happened. Cat, what are you doing? Cat, what are you doing? No. You cannot. Nope. Yeah. Her climbing all over me with this jacket sweatshirt thing on, it would be a disaster. Scared of graduating high school, but you're gonna be a welder. Yo, that's awesome. That's awesome. Welding's cool. I wish I knew how. It could probably be useful, but not my thing. Not the thing I went into. But yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. That'll be cool. The amount of chaos has happened in the world since your last stream, the horrors. I know. I know. Could have prevented it all if people had a distraction through streams that I did, but oh well. But yeah, how's it going, everyone? Yeah. My life, nothing exciting has happened. I've just watched shows and chilled, done work, played games. Just kind of relaxed. Honestly, I kind of needed it. Yeah, it was just I just kind of needed the time. Oh, you're a girl and it's a male-dominated field. Ooh. Yeah, I can understand the worry there, but that's awesome that you're kind of breaking that norm, you know? You're gonna be one of the people when they look back and you're it used to be a problem, and it's they can point to people like you who persevered through it and broke all those kind of norms up, you know? All you need is Quillfish line, Petalil line, and Basculin line, and a mass outbreak Pokemon are done. Yo, you're still doing that one. Nice, dude. Nice. Have you been able to play Splatoon at all? I know you wanted to play Splatoon, but we're waiting for everything to kind of finish up with Arceus. Taking welding classes in school right now. Yo, that's awesome. That's awesome. Same kind of deal as mechanics and cars and stuff, and how it's mostly dudes, and you need more women to go into that field and whatnot. But yo, that's awesome. Breeding and legend hunting and use some for the rest of Arceus almost done. Yo, Firemaster, what's going on? Yeah, that's awesome. Good to hear updates from everyone. We will go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and get the game booted up here. I don't know what audio we'll use. We'll see. I think I might just put some super chill background noise on through Monster Cat, find one of their chiller playlists. We'll see. Remember when I had a baby face? Oh yeah. That's fair. Now I don't have a baby face, I have a cat. She is the baby now. I'm also gonna cut. Yeah, there's Cat now. She's being all needy because I've been out of the house all day. Gotta jump between playing Violet and Persona 4 Golden. Nice! Nice. So, is this the right layout? Yo, this is the right layout, and it actually looks right. Nice! Been affected by the tech layouts, the layoffs? Knock on wood, no. I don't actually work in the tech field. Like, I'm not in the tech sector. I'm, like, in the IT department of a much larger, like, company. Like, not, like, yeah, I'm not, like, working for Google kind of thing, which I know is, like, the big one in the news and everything. Yeah, I think we're gonna try to mute the... I think we'll try to mute, like, the game audio here. The menu. Yeah, we'll turn off background music. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, so we'll turn off background music, and I'm just gonna go to Monstercat and, like, throw on some, like, quiet vibe stuff. If I can find it. What are moods? Moods is like the same moods that it's been since I like started using Monstercat. Do they just like not have... They used to have like the songs labeled like in 3 different like... Let's just go with this and play. Okay, and it's all just like moods. Like the tags are just moods. All right, let's see how this goes. All right, that's fine. That's fine. Picked up Royal for Switch. Nice. I need to pick up 5 Royal at some point. Kitty cat goes down now. She's kneading into my thigh, and I don't really need it. Not working at Google failed at life. It's like what like South Korea and like Samsung man is like the cultural goal. And working at like another company of the level, another company in the same field is like a failure because you didn't like pass the Samsung exam, I think. Hey, what's going on, gamers? Welcome, man. How's it going? So, I did prep for this. Thankfully, we have a ton of eggs. I went the same route as at least what Puffin did. These eggs are random. I don't know which of the 3 starters is each individual egg. So we're gonna kind of go with that. I'm also realizing this very white sleeve is totally throwing off the automatic like exposure on my camera. We'll work with that. Hey Greg, what's going on? Do any of my Pokemon have Flame Body? Let's search. Okay, yeah, search is a button here. I also haven't played this game since I got these eggs in like December. Pokemon Scarlet Violet been lucky for you with shinies? Nice! I've gotten one. I've gotten 1 shiny. I haven't done a lot of hunting in these games. I beat the game in like the first week, completed the decks like late November, and I just didn't really touch the games again. I was playing other stuff. Let's see if I got Flame Body. Do I have anything with Flame Body? I do. Let's go. Man, I forgot. I forgot how yucky these menus are. Like how bad the loading on the boxes is. So let's go ahead and dump these Pokemon into the proper spot. And slap this Ditto into spot 1 because I don't need it. Hey Belden, what's going on? First 2023 stream, yeah! And like 3rd Scarlet Violet stream. Because I just didn't do any. Also, maybe this is still gonna work? I don't know. Things should update here, and let's get back to the boxes with eggs. What is this? Okay, yeah, so we're gonna... grab these eggs. I am so rusty, like even moving eggs feels clunky. Titan story hurts, man. Still want to hug Arvin. The Titan story for me was... The vibe was kind of ruined for it by... I know a lot of people have had this glitch. Still digging Gen 9 or is it getting boring? I haven't touched Gen 9 since November. So or like outside of like doing this and like collecting these eggs around Christmas, I intended to do a stream like super close to New Year's, and it just didn't happen. Things got busy. I don't know. I want to know I want to know all y'all's thoughts on that, right? Like, given that we're now what, three months into these games, 2 to 3 months into these games, and like the new factors worn off, like, have people gotten more used to some of the problems with them, or the problem? Oh, I didn't want to do that. That sprint. Also, I think I want to go to a different spot. Oh gosh, what's the map? Y'all, y'all are gonna have to deal with my like complete lack of ability to move around this game smoothly. It's not for you to be like this game, but screw the TM machine. Fair. Hate online rating because you see if you make it in one, it takes like an entire minute. Yeah, the raids definitely were not something that was interesting to me. They did not feel very cohesive. My biggest frustration with the raids, honestly, was the fact that I was doing them solo, right? I kind of like to do a lot of that stuff solo. I don't want to rely on other people. And I like to just be able to sit there and... Honestly, part of it is I like to just casually sit down and do that kind of thing. I don't want to, like... Oh. Alright, first egg, let's go. Performance of this game is better than at launch. I don't think they've actually done a performance update. The one update that I do know people thought was a performance update, it wasn't like performance that got fixed. What happened is people rebooted their games for the update and the memory leak cleared, and so it was suddenly better. Farm the crap out of Charizard when his raid with Greninja isn't consistent. Got you. See, for me, Charizard raid was the problem. I've only done the Charizard raid. I don't care about the Pokemon that you get from the raid. I get that, like, that's a shiny to hunt potentially, right? Like, hunt shiny Charmander and do stuff like that. Like, that's kind of neat. What I don't like, what I really, really, really don't like with it is, that you have to do that. You have to do 5-star plus raids to get to get the Urban Mystica for, like, the really good sandwiches. But you don't get it consistently, and you don't win raids consistently, so it's like double chance of just not getting it. It's better solo, honestly. A Golden Ghost Sweeper needs not others damage to trigger a shield, but hunting only 5-star raids on your map is tiring. Yeah, that too! But honestly, all of that to say, my biggest problem with those raids is the number of times that I would have beat the raid if I could have, if the timer would pause during the message saying, hey, the timer's low, right? Like, my biggest problem with the raid, hey, what's going on, Kevin? He's alive, somewhat. But my biggest problem with those raids was the number of times that the animations would stop you from being able to do anything, which, let's be real, half the time is just mashing the crap out of next thing. And it would just be like, hurry up, the timer's almost out, and it would waste like half of the remaining timer telling you that. And it's like, then let me move, let me attack. If the shield's breaking, like, you know, like, then stop hindering me. At work right now, I've been here for 12 hours. Dude! Hopefully you get off soon, man. That's wild. So yeah, it just wasn't interesting to me. It lost my attention very quickly. Alright, that's all of them. Got another 12-hour shift tomorrow? Bruh. That's so much nicer. That's so much nicer. Is this the highest tier for members? There's a Decidueye tier? I don't remember what you have. I can't tell from right here. But yeah, the Decidueye is like the highest tier that I have. Salty that the 1,000 Pokemon isn't shiny huntable and has a crappy shiny form. Is Golden Go really not huntable? I guess because of how it is, sure. I get it, but that is disappointing. I'm really not a fan of how much stuff has been like set up. Yo, Hamza, what's going on, man? 21 months, dude. That's wild. Thank you for the continued support, even through like the drought of content that was like November and December. How you doing, man? Welcome, welcome. And John the Pikachu, what's going on? Long time no see, right? Right? But yeah, I mean, so like everyone's like actual like thoughts on the full game, the whole experience. For me, I'm disappointed at like the performance, obviously. Having seen what some of like the kind of data miners in general, like hackers, have like figured out with it. It's like, it's ridiculous the things they did. If I remember correctly, so don't quote me on this. Yeah, and there we go. There's Hamza's sponsorship renewal or membership renewal. I never changed that. I never changed that off sponsor when they changed the naming and the wording. Don't know how long you've been a member. Skipped on this Pokemon game again. That's fair, man. That's fair. Well, like I said, I'm disappointed because the performance issues of this game really hold back from what I think would be my favorite Pokemon game on the Switch. I'm not a big fan of open worlds, but I think they actually did the open world in this game really well. I prefer this vastly over Arceus. I think there are some the biggest problem with this game, right, is like the like last 10%. The last 10% isn't there. Obviously, like the last 10% is a significant amount more effort than the first 10%, but like it should be there in a Pokemon game. It should be there. But like overall, the story's great. It feels like an interesting story. The fact that the rival is like friendly to you doesn't feel like patronizing this time. It genuinely feels like good. Right? Like they wrote Nimona well, they wrote Arven well. I think like Penny's a decent character. Penny's music's a bop. That Penny battle music is genuinely a bop. Still need to get the games. I think if you can look past the performance issues, which I won't like huff copium on it or anything. They're bad. They are still very bad. The games are very unoptimized in an attempt to prevent modifying the games. Like from everything, and again, this is where I was saying like, don't quote me on this. I could be wrong. I could have misinterpreted this, and this was in like December. So much of the game, and yo, Kevin, thank you for the super chat, my friend. Don't be a security guard. This job is lame. I don't think I would do well at that job, even if it was exciting. I'm also need to like. Here is Kat. She says hello. I have to set her on the ground. I think her feet are cold, and I feel bad. I need to like look at like insulating the crawl space better, I guess. But she's like been super duper like clingy ever since like it got cold in like December here. But again, I keep getting distracted here. Every time I start trying to say this, you guys give me money, and I thank you. But again, don't quote me on this. So a lot of the reason for why things are so slow, why the pop-in's bad, why the PC box takes like 2 seconds to load a page of Pokemon, is that the game's like checking to make sure that the data is valid and not like modified before it loads every single asset, before it loads like the model for a player character, before it loads the model for the grass, before it loads the texture for these bricks, before it loads the sprite for a Pokemon in the PC. It checks like it like does a whole check that it should really only do the first time it has to load the assets like in the game, and they do it every time, and it's in an attempt to prevent people from modifying or adding files. People figured this out while adding Snorlax to the game. While successfully adding Snorlax to the game and modifying the picture backings for Pokedex entries. So, like, it did nothing except hurt the experience for users. It's ridiculous. I don't know. That's again, don't quote me on that. Don't like take that as like the end all be all. I believe it though. I believe it, but like don't like quote me on it. This was posted by Ray Suka, I think. Ray on Twitter, who does a lot, who like wrote like Poke Client and some stuff like that. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And like that's the problem, and it's like take that, like check out that and let's see how the game runs. Cause legitimately, I think this is one of the best Pokemon games and like the best example of what a good Pokemon game could be on Switch. Hey, what's going on, Ash? Long time no see. Yeah, it's been a while since I've streamed. We'll go back to Jirachi. Yeah, at some point I need to get my GameCubes hooked up again. I need to get more GameCubes. I have one GameCube that's technically mine, but it's like halfway around the world and I'll have to get it in the spring. I have an orange Japanese GameCube. It's just sitting in Mel's apartment. Maractus not being in the games disappoints you. I have a whole story for Maractus if you want to hear. Go for it, Beldum. Go for it. Yeah, the Dex cut is so unfortunate. I get it, but I'm not a fan of it. It's still one of those things I'm just not happy with. Wait till June for Jirachi. Just do Jirachi all of June. I would love to do Jirachi again. I never got that setup wired back up. What I would love to do, and I don't know if I could do it, what I would love to do is get enough GameCubes with the digital output, and then somehow come across an ungodly amount of money to buy 4 HDMI adapters for them. Because I think I've shown off the boxes I'm using right now for that, which are super janky, and they use the analog, and that's why the video looks really muddy. I would love to get one of like the low profile, like small little GameCube digital to HDMI adapters. Those look sleek, and I love the like aesthetic of them, and I also just love the functionality of them. But that's a lot of money, so I don't know if I will do that. I don't know if I can do it. Is Mel still overseas? Yeah. So she came back for a bit in August. That's when I took that break post Breath of the Wild. But she's back over there for one final year. She'll be done in August. But I'll be going and visiting her in the spring. We haven't like settled on exact dates or anything yet, but I will be over there for like 2 or 3 weeks, which will be exciting. No excuse to keep cutting the decks. Nah, I think if they had owned up to there being like technical difficulties with Sword and Shield, and then after Sword and Shield, like they fixed it with Scarlet Violet, I think we look back on Sword and Shield as a blemish and move on. The fact that it's still a problem and people are still pointing it 5 years into the Switch, I guess more so like 4 years into Pokemon being on the Switch, there are Pokemon that you can move to Pokemon Home and they still cannot come out into a Switch game is ridiculous. Like, yeah, the fact that there are still Pokemon that you cannot obtain is like, come on now. Come on, fix that. Fix that at least. Even if you don't have a full dex, right? So, it's a little bit frustrating still. Scarlet Violet would be your favorite games if your soul wasn't crushed by the performance. Yeah, Beck, like, I would say that Scarlet Violet, game mechanics, or like, the core gameplay, would be the best games in the modern era of Pokemon, which I would probably put that split as, like, the move to 3D. The move to 3DS, I think is, like, the point where people can kind of still point, like, at, like, a mark. And even if we're kind of hitting the era of, I haven't really seen it because I haven't been around much in the past year or so, of like X and Y is actually the best games, or S are the best games. Ignoring remakes that just use the old game mechanics like ORAS and BDSP, Scarlet Violet probably has the best like take on what we could consider like what modern Pokemon should be mechanic-wise. But yeah, the performance is awful, like towns aren't fleshed out. The fact that most of, like, the shops are just menus, and, like, the main town has, like, 20 shops that are just the same 3 shops. It's like, come on now. But yeah, I don't know. I think my opinion now is, like, Pokemon stumbled on the transition to 3D with the 3DS, and before they could get their footing, the Switch just hit them in the knees with a 2x4. Like, like they were going down because of that. I don't see, yeah, I don't know. It's just, there's so many issues. One more egg. Made a friend through school's counselor last year. Then the school year you need a reason to talk to her, so use a ton of miraculous support and didn't go because of region locked. Oh, nice. Any way to slide in there. Ashka Ninja is dead, not moving yours from you some. Oh yeah, didn't they like make it where it like just doesn't work anymore? Like it doesn't transfer up anymore or something? Dex good again. Was your main reason you skipped the game? I feel you. I wouldn't say the Dex cut should be like your biggest reason for this. Hope everything has been going well for you. Yeah, things have been going pretty well for me, Hamza. Things have been going all right. I ended up like kind of just like needing a mental like break from the internet and creating content at large for a bit there. I ended up just binging content instead for a while to like relax. Watched a ton of different like cartoons and stuff that I had heard good things about, and like they were very worth watching. Just kind of did stuff around the house, weird little techie improvement things. They were just kind of like happy little hobby things to do. I finally lit up my display cabinets with all my Pokemon stuff in it. Did a bunch of things like that. Like I just had a chill time. Things have been good. He was watching Velma, so I tried to watch one episode. I am of the mindset that if I'm going to join in on the hate bandwagon for that show, I should watch some of it. I should be able to like counter people's argument of, well, you haven't actually watched the show, so you don't know if it's good or not. Like you're just repeating online stuff. No, I went to watch it. I made it less than 5 minutes into the first episode before I just turned it off. Like, yeah, there's bias going into it that like it's just like I've heard so many bad things about it. But if you can't make it 30 seconds into your show without just trying to make raunchy like jokes that have like no build up or punchline, and they're just raunchy for the sake of being raunchy and being adult show, what are you doing? Right? Like, gotta take breaks, it's understandable. We're all still here. Yeah, I appreciate you guys being here. It's cool seeing you guys all back in this stream. After a while, I became good friends and eventually got to the point where you liked her. Asked her, she's okay. I got your first girlfriend because you got 300 Maractus. The true dating advice, build him. Never watched it. It's not worth it. I can agree with what some people have said. At least in my mind, Saber Spark and Alex Myers are the two that I've seen point this out. The animation is not bad. The actual quality of the art and animation is not bad. You could very well have made a Scooby-Doo show with those character designs, and it would have been fine. But the writing doesn't know who it's for, right? Like, it's very much like, we're going to make all the jokes possible because it's an adult cartoon, and then make jokes at the expense of adults that watch cartoons. And it's like, do you just hate anyone who'd watch this show? Like, yeah, I don't know how that show came to exist. Velma's True Cinema. I like how they ended up taking over a subreddit that used to just be like a Velma cosplay subreddit. Like r/Velma, like, I guess died a while ago because like Reddit removes like subreddits that have poor moderation and stuff. But I guess they gave it back to people like, hey, a new show came out with that name. Can we have the subreddit? But all the top posts are still there, and it's just like cosplayers. Hey, what's going on, Cinder? How you doing? Welcome. But yeah, so I did try to watch that, but that's not one of the good shows I watched. I watched other things that I actually managed to get all the way. I managed to get more than like 5 minutes into. Really, I've been watching a lot of Disney Channel stuff. What good shows you watch? I watched all of The Owl House that was out and got very disappointed when I realized that season 3 being like that, like Disney regretting canceling the show after like 2 seasons was like actually 2 seasons plus what's releasing, and we're not getting more. I was very sad to learn we weren't getting more. Scorsese would call it true cinema. Well, I guess what does he know about film? But really just a lot of more modern Disney stuff. Like Owl House, Amphibia, rewatched Gravity Falls. I watched all of She-Ra on Netflix. That was good. And I watched Over the Garden Wall. That one I had heard so much about since like it was coming out, or since it came out, and I just never saw it until I decided like, I tried watching a bad cartoon on HBO Max. Let's watch a good cartoon on HBO Max. Tired today. Today's been really eventful. Had a minor driving mishap. Everything is safe. No one got hurt. Don't worry. That was sure an experience. I get that. Yeah. Anything driving is wild. Anything that happens that is even slightly like wrong while driving is exciting. Is a word to use, not in necessarily the positive way. I said, told your cousin to send a message, and then got sent the screenshot with the caption. Totally not socially awkward and bad at this. Nah, not at all. Not at all. Been playing a lot of Dust Divers recently. It's already your favorite game. It's a funny game, but the second game that came out a few weeks ago. Cool. I've been playing Hades, and kind of hit the point where I burnt out on it, which I think is fair, given the amount of time I put in like 2 weeks. But that was really good. I decided to get it because it was pretty heavily discounted during the like Steam Winter Sale. I was like, you know what, I'll give it a shot. I've heard good things, but like usually like roguelites, like those kind of games don't really like suit me. But man, Hades is good. Hades is really good. It fits my kind of vibe. Also, this isn't no, that's not shiny. Stuck at the side of the road, and it was so awkward. With two of your friends and one of their friends who you had met for the first time. What a first impression. Oh my gosh, yeah. Yeah. No, the last time I like had like a mishap was like when Mel and I went to see a movie. And leaving the movie, we heard like this thunk, thunk, thunk coming from like the wheel. I was like, that's weird. Maybe this parking lot's just bumpy. And turns out the bump was like a bolt, like a lag bolt this long in my tire. I was like, oh, that, because as soon as we got as soon as we got back on like the smoother road and sped up, the bumping just sped up. Dust Divers for $3.50 on the eShop at a New Year discount, 90% off. Dang, that's pretty good. $35 game for $3.50. That's awesome. As long as it works. I mean, yeah, it's a fair way to look at it. All right, we're $1 in. Great time after that all got sorted out. Had to cut him out to come pick you up. You're like 30 minutes away from home. Oof. So tired. Dude, I can't even begin to imagine, dude. I was doing stuff for 6 hours today, and it wasn't work, and I could sit down most of the time. I was just, like, answering some questions for people, and I'm tired. Main desk, just sitting here with your brain off. Dude, it's wild, and this is, like, as someone who's very happy I'm working from home now, because this is no longer as much of a thing. Man, having to be, like, at work in a location, even if there's nothing going on, is the most mentally draining thing. Like, right? Especially when you're in that situation where it's like, I've got literally, like, my job is to sit here right now. And, like, that gets tiring. Because, like, oh, no, I'm doing nothing. But genuinely, it's like, you have to, like, at least look somewhat attent and alert. Like, somewhat attentive and alert. Dude, I feel that. I feel that. There were so many times at my last job where it's like I had 4 hours of work to do in an 8-hour day, and 4 hours of my day was trying to look like I had work to do. Hate being at work when there's nothing to do. When it's quiet, you pray for something to break. Yeah, and that's where it's like it's nice being at home, because when I'm at home, I can like do chores or something, or I can genuinely like not look like I'm paying attention to something, because like, hey, no one can see me. Everyone looks at the status light, and let's be real, Teams is really bad at updating the status light, so it's not like anyone even follows that. Could be better. Your predisposition here required you to walk 20 kilometers or 12 miles a day. Oh, oof, oof. I mean, I guess at least you'd be staying like fit then. Listed as offline on Teams for 2 weeks and didn't know. My team, if I walk away for 5 minutes, right? Like we have pipelines that take 20 to 30 minutes to run depending on how the servers are feeling that day. So I'll walk away for, I'll start the pipeline. I'll commit all the code that needs to go out to our QA environment and stuff, and like let it run and test. And then I just so I'll walk away for like 5 minutes, right? Go to the bathroom, go like move laundry, go check the mail, like do something. I'm gonna be sitting here for 30 minutes until I can confirm that the work I just spent like an hour and a half working on work. So like I'll do something. And if I'm gone for 5 minutes, Teams goes to like a yellow away status. And unless I open Teams, which never happens in the afternoon because all of my team is in India for the most part. I have like 2 coworkers that aren't in India. And so like they're all offline in the afternoon, so I don't have a need to open Teams, and I just look like away. Like I look like away from like 1:30 until I'm done with work. It's like no one cares. No one. That's the most useless thing. You can play an entire movie or your head to distract you in a quiet situation. That's a pretty impressive skill one. I wish I could do that. Scarlet and Violet, have you enjoyed the games? You're actually insane about Scarlet Violet. Think it rewired your brain chemistry. You know, I haven't played them a ton, right? Like this is definitely some of the least I've played Pokemon games, in terms of like amount of hours spent on them. Like actually, let's look. How about 75 hours? So that's a good chunk. At least like 5 of those were just sitting there letting these eggs show up. A bit after Cinder stream, we found a shiny Fido. I asked you a shiny racer for a Fido. Check the time in your game though. Yeah, check what the game says I played. Oh, does it not? Oh, you gotta actually go to like your profile. How do I do these things? Look, I haven't played this game since like September, so. Does it say it here? I don't actually know where to see my profile, guys. This is... Switch says you have 100 hours, but the game says you played 80. I know that's like kind of based off your save time, right? Hit X, you think? Oh yeah, for the map, and then from here hit X. Man, this menu was kind of bad. Yeah. 69.5 hours. So it's about right. It's interesting that it's interesting that the Switch number's that far off. Lost 5 hours to lag. Oh my god. Is that like legit? Is it legit like counting like time as 30 frames happening in the game and the game's just running at like 20 FPS and it's just wrong? That's wild. Granted, at the same time, like I'm genuinely not surprised. The game is 100% tied to an assumption that it's running at 30 FPS despite not being able to run at 30 FPS. Forgot about the monstrosity of a character you made. How could this not be continuing to haunt your nightmares? One, I've forgotten that this isn't like a default character. This is just the character now. I've considered changing it, but I also just haven't. Like, why would I change it? That's wild, Beck. That's wild. I didn't think about that. That's 100% what's happening. Man, so I spent all of last weekend trying to light up my like display cabinets. I mentioned it briefly, but yeah, I spent all of last weekend. I spent a lot longer than just last weekend. The last weekend was the point where I actually successfully made it happen. I pooped out that egg. Because man, I don't try to light up display cabinets the way I lit them up. I decided I was going to be a little bit extra in how I did it, and like every single step of the way, I was like, man, if this was any more of a pain in the butt, I wouldn't continue to do it. And then I would get one step further, and it would get a little bit more difficult. And I'd be like, man, if it had been this difficult last step, I would have stopped. That lighting really threw me for a loop there. I thought we had a shiny Sprigatito there for a second. Oh, man, it just kept going. It just kept being like that. But finally, I got it to work. I wanted to light up the display cabinets I have, which are the like IKEA Detolfs, I think is like their like model name. But they're just like they're the all glass IKEA cabinets, which are really like nice for stuff. So I have like a lot of my Pokemon stuff in there. And for the longest time, I've wanted to light them up, but the only real ways I had seen was like a single light at the top. Which doesn't really work for lighting up the bottom shelf, and I kind of want them to like light up as part of like my living room lighting up, because I have some like automated stuff happening with that, so I was like, I'd like it to tie into that. And I saw some people did an interesting thing with it, where they ran like a strip and like an LED lighting channel across the front of each of the shelves. I was like, that's really cool, and they found like some $12 like Home Depot lights. Like light strips that fit perfectly in these aluminum channels. It's like, that's great. But I wanted to be a little bit extra. Your relief staff's late again? Just leave. Just leave. It's their problem now. Wait, an extra hour? Bro! That's ridiculous. That's genuinely ridiculous. What the heck? But yeah, so I wanted to be a little bit extra, right? I could have done this. I could have bought the channel, cut it with my saw, slapped in these Home Depot LED lights that just, you know, turn on and off, plug them all up to a smart switch, and be done with it. I was like, nah, I don't want to do that. I also realized that I've been running around with all the Pokemon hatched. I was like, nah, I am gonna be extra. I'm gonna get some lights. I'm gonna like custom make the lights so that they work like all the other lights I have, which are like, you know, smart colors and like white temperatures and stuff and everything. And like, I was like, I'm gonna do this. Can't leave or you get fired. Has to be a guard in the building 24/7. Why is it you that gets in trouble for them being late? That's so stupid. Man. But yeah, so I was like, I'm gonna be extra. I'm gonna like cut these. I'm gonna get some light strips that are like, you know, like that tie in with my other smart lights and stuff. I actually found some cheaper ones because like I'm gonna be cutting these up, destroying them, so I want to be like okay with destroying them. Found some, was like, heck yeah, ordered them with like Christmas Amazon gift cards, and started like, I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna like solder these together with some wire I found at Home Depot. That was a mistake. That was so much a mistake. The wire I got was phone wire, and it's not meant to be soldered. It started melting. The LED strips just started to burn. It didn't go well. It did not go well. So I was like, I'm gonna get... It's like, fine. You know, I can't solder this. After like a week and a half of trying to solder, buying a new soldering iron, like getting all the tools, trying it, definitely inhaling more lead fumes than I probably should have. All this, I'm like, fine. I'm gonna go. I'm standing in my driveway, freezing my butt off, trying to solder this thing, and it's just not soldering. I went, screw it. I'm gonna buy some like solderless connectors, some things that just like bite down on a wire, bite down on the LED strip, and be done with it. Ordered them, and after a week they showed up. And they were the wrong size. They were the wrong size connectors. So now I just have this whole box of like connectors for like wider LED strips than I had. Not fun. Because I'm just sitting here like, dang it. So I had to go on Amazon. I had to measure again, measure it correctly this time. Bought new ones. They got here after a few days. And finally I could try to get to work on this, but I had already kind of messed up the strips by trying to solder them. It was a whole thing. Yeah, it was a whole thing, but I eventually got it. I got it working. I got one of the strips working. I got one of the shelves lit up, and it was like 7 o'clock Saturday night last week that I got it done. And I was like, you know what? The Owl House new episode comes out in like an hour. I'm not doing anything else. I'm gonna go buy some food, and I'm gonna come home. I'm gonna watch that episode. And I did, and it was good. And I'm like, tomorrow I'm gonna put the next one together. So I spent all of last Sunday doing the second one, which went more smoothly, right? Because like I knew what I was doing. Except I flipped one wire at one point, so it just didn't turn on. I was like, oh, whoops. I flipped like the power line and like the blue LED, the blue color line. So I was like, whoops. Let's swap that back. Managed to finagle around in the cabinet without breaking the cabinet. Without like shattering the cabinet, I managed to flip these wires. And when I turned it on, the colors just did not match the other one at all. I'm like, you kidding me? Check all the wires, all the wires like red to red, yellow to yellow, green to green. Like I said, everything looked right. Everything looked right. Until I started like poking around with a multimeter and found out that like the strip was just shorted out somewhere. Probably because I ran like the power down the wrong line and totally destroyed one of the like LEDs, and in that process like killed the strips. So I had to go. I was very lucky that I had one spare. I had one singular spare, like strip long enough to go into that shelf, and managed to fix it. Thankfully, it all worked. It looks so nice now. I don't know if I would say it was worth it, like from beginning to end. Like had I known what the results were, had I known what the results were and how much effort it was going to take, I don't know if I would have done it. But having it done, I'm very glad to have it done because it looks really good. It looks really nice in my opinion. So I was very dumb. Could go for hours about the issues with the school, security issues and staff. I feel ya. Yeah, it's the people who implement the rules almost never have to like deal with the consequences of the rules being stupid. I feel that, man. I feel that. I'm trying to think if I have a picture I could pull up of the of that like cabinet, because again, I'm very proud of how those lights turned out. I'm gonna actually I am gonna look. I know I posted this on Discord somewhere, so I'm gonna search for like in a server that I posted this. Oh, come on. I wonder if it's like... I'm sorry if you hear Discord pings for a second. I'm seeing... Interesting. I'm finding a picture of... Okay, where is it? Where is it? Yes, there we go. Just Just making sure, yeah. Yeah, okay. Okay, I got distracted. I was supposed to be here 10 minutes ago, bruh. It's ridiculous they can get away with that, like, consistently. Alright, yeah, I'm gonna see... If I go here, we're gonna back off to this for a second so I can, like, add a single, like, image to the screen. I have no clue how well this is gonna work. I have no clue if this is gonna work. I'm gonna do something before. I'm gonna do something before I open this. Whoops. Okay. Oh, I need to turn off. That wasn't y'all's Discord, that was mine. I turned off streamer mode because it seems like I can't search for things being from people when streamer mode's on. It's such a weird thing, but apparently is a thing. Gotta make sure. Ah! Okay, yeah, that's why I wanted to do that, because that image is ridiculously big for no reason. Yeah. Okay, so which scene am I on now? Yeah, okay, I'm on this one. Oh, wrong thing to move. Oh gosh. I totally have messed this up. I'm just trying to, like, show these, like, frames that I made. Even showing them is hard to you. Okay. There we go. Yeah. These are the shelves I put together. Wenping. I know, I'm sorry. But yeah, these are the cabinets I lit up. Oh gosh, I keep ruining this. Like, I ruin everything. But yeah. Like, yeah, putting the lights on, like, each shelf. I was pretty happy with it. I was pretty happy with how that turned out. Ignore the mess. That was everything that was in those shelves being pulled out of the shelves. And all the tools from making it work. But yeah, like, that's those shelves lit up. And I was so happy to get those lit up. I was very proud of that. Very proud to get that working. Because they all, like, work with my lights and, like, dim when the TV's playing and stuff. It's cool. It's cool. I was very proud to get those done, so I wanted to show them off. Now back to hatching eggs, the thing that everyone's actually here for. Know the right people in the company, send a complaint. People actually do. It's good that you have that. It's good that you have that kind of connection and have that option. Because, like, I think there's the fair point to, like, sometimes certain, like, jobs, like, punctuality is, like, overemphasized, right? Like, being, like, 10 minutes late to something isn't a problem. But when your job is relieving someone else of their job, then you should be there on time, right? Like I will say this. I feel like in my job, and this is like, that's like been said by people at my job, it's like, if I work the right number of hours, it doesn't matter when I work them as long as, like, I'm in meetings, right? But, like, your job, dude, like, that person should be there to relieve you. Like, their job is getting there on time so you can leave. So yeah, man, hopefully that whole situation can get resolved for you. and I will tell this to everyone I can constantly. I convinced Mel to watch it, so I'm going to convince all of you guys to watch it too. If you haven't watched The Owl House, watch it. You 100% should watch it. If you liked Gravity, if you've seen Gravity Falls and liked it, or if you've seen Amphibia and liked it, if you've just seen interesting shows and liked them, give Owl House a shot. It's really good. They got one episode left. I don't know how they're gonna do it, but I know they will. It's good. Go watch. Because yeah, that's very quickly became one of my favorite shows, having watched it. I don't usually rewatch stuff. I don't usually rewatch shows. Like, I've only rewatched a few shows, like, that have come all the way out. I'll rewatch something if, like, I watch the first 4 seasons and a 5th season comes out, you know, and it's been years. I'll do that. But, like, very rarely will I be like, I've seen every single episode of this show that's out, I'm going to rewatch it. And I genuinely, like, the day after I started, or the day after I finished, was like, I need to watch that again. I need to watch it again. What it about? It's, I don't know if it's hard to describe. I don't want to go into too much, like, I'm so anti-spoiler. Y'all who were here for the Scarlet Violet kickoff, like, release stream and stuff, like, I try to not say a lot about a show. Basically, girl ends up going to, it's basically Western isekai, is a weird way to put it, but, like, gets, you know, finds a portal to another, like, world that's got magic and stuff, and wants to, like, do the magic and be the witch and, like, live there and everything, and ends up, like, finding this effectively, like, aunt parental figure kind of person, like, witch to teach her stuff. I'm doing this a massive disservice by the way I'm talking about it. If you've seen, like, it's made by the same people who, or made by people who helped with the creation of, like, Gravity Falls, and, like, were on DuckTales. The main like, producer / writer was, like, helped with Gravity Falls, DuckTales, Mitchell vs. Machines. Like, if you like any of those, I honestly think, like, you would like this. It's good. It's really good. But yeah, basically, main character gets transported to this magical world, wants to learn magic, become a witch and everything, and, like, it's a weird mix, or a very interesting mix, I would say, of, like, traditional, like, Disney episodic cartoons for a bit, followed by, like, oh, we don't have to, oh, Disney's canceling us, we can just use the rest of our episodes to, like, write a cool story. And they did that. It's really good. I like a lot of the characters. I like a lot of, like, the world building's crazy good. A lot of stuff about it. Fantastic. I convinced Mel to watch it, so I could have someone to talk to about it. And her, as, like, an English literature major, was very, very much like the world building of the characters and all the writing and everything. And me, someone who just likes neat looking shows, thought it was a very neat looking show. I've found very much recently, like animation, like animated shows that are, like, kid shows, right? Like, they're greenlit by Disney or Cartoon Network or Nick or whatever, that, like, just aim to be good for, like, or, like, that everyone can enjoy, are so good. That, like, Amphibia's from, like, I would argue, like, the same, like, graduating class, quote unquote, of, like, Disney animation. Amphibia's really good. It's its own whole separate thing. But yeah, it's really good. It's really good. Again, like I said, my description does, like, no service to the show, but I don't want to just, like, sit here and give a plot synopsis of episode 1 or anything. The pilot is on YouTube. It is free. Like, the pilot's free to watch on YouTube. The latest episode's free to watch on YouTube, but would make no sense without watching the rest of the show. But it's good. It's good. Like I said, I don't usually have a big desire to rewatch shows, but this is a very big exception. Like, usually, even, like, when I rewatch something, it's like, it's been a couple years, I'll rewatch it. Like, Breaking Bad, I've watched Breaking Bad all the way through, I think, 3 times when it came out. once just like randomly on my own, and then once to like show Mel, which so really like I'll show people shows and watch it with them, but I usually won't watch the whole thing all the way through. But like Breaking Bad's something that I just watched on my own all the way through a second time. Like Owl House, I've already started rewatching it. Like basically like the episode came out last week, and I'm like, all right, it's time to rewatch it. And so that's what I've been doing, like while playing video games. I just have that on the side now that I've seen it, and I don't have to pay as much attention to it. But it's good. Highly recommend. I will nerd out about it as long as people let me. I also, I know this was a conversation on Discord for a bit. Some people were asking about it. I know Juan and Vanillix were talking about it a bit, and I think both were kind of the opinion of, I don't know if I should get it. Sonic Frontiers. I finally finished all the achievements in Sonic Frontiers yesterday. I think yesterday? Yeah. No, not yesterday. Thursday. I think it was Thursday. Either way, I completed all the achievements in Sonic Frontiers finally, so I'm like done with that game now. It was alright. I'm not a big Sonic fan. I really never was. The game kind of feels like faster Kirby to me in a lot of ways. Like Sonic as a franchise feels like faster Kirby to me in a lot of ways, where it's like, it's not... Like, I feel the difficulty of Sonic, in my mind, tends to come from, like, when Sonic's going too fast to control. And, like, you run into things, you know? But Sonic Frontiers was alright. I enjoyed it. It wasn't, like, boring or anything. Performance could have been a little bit better. I think there was a ton of pop-in for, like, important objects. But overall, it was good. It was a good game. I 100%ed it. I don't do that with a lot of games, so I mean that's, I think, its own kind of like statement. Do you like these Pokemon games? They're so much fun. I wish they performed better. I think that's like the biggest thing to me is like the games can perform distractingly poorly at times, which is disappointing because they genuinely could be. I definitely am also, yeah, I need to get new eggs. They definitely could have been like undoubtedly the best Pokemon games on the Switch. Not like oh well the newest games should, and not like any new game could be the best Pokemon game, but like I think there's a large consensus among the community, and like, this is coming from me, someone who has been vocally against every RPG becoming an open world game. This is probably the best formula for a Pokemon game that we've had in the modern era. I think it's the best like way to transition the series into a modern game style. And it could have done so well if it was just polished. These games are released same year Legends Arceus released. I know, which is weird. And it's like, I know that I don't know, I think I'm in the minority with this, but I was not a fan of Arceus by the time I was done with it. I was very much ready to just put it down. Like, Scarlet Violet, if I wanted to pick it up and like finish my living decks, cool. You know, I haven't shiny hunted in it because I figured I'd probably want to stream shiny hunting like I'm doing now. But yeah, like I have no interest in playing Arceus anymore. I tried going back to it. I could not get back into it. But like these games are fine. Like I think the parts of what makes Pokemon to me are here. I just wish they performed better. I wish that like the polish that you can see in certain aspects of the games extended into everything. Because so much of the game, like the fit and finish just isn't good. I don't think there's any excusing that. The games can and should perform better than they do. Have you completed everything in the main story of these games? Yeah. I've completed the game. I completed the post game. I completed the Pokedex. and everything. I completed everything that I think most people would consider like completing the games. And yeah, I think it's one of the best stories that we've had in Pokemon. I think they've kept a lot of the things that I think people groan about, like groan with Pokemon, like, oh, the rival's not like blue or silver, or like weird twists and stuff. But they did them decently. They actually handled them well. I was talking about it earlier. I think Nemona being like a supportive like rival is good. They did it well in my mind. I think they did it really well. Let's get to the end credits. Do you like the song by Ed Sheeran? It was interesting, yeah. I do find it very weird. I know that this is like a thing that at this point Pokemon can enter the modern era and have voice acting. It felt very weird to have any lyrics or vocals of any kind in a Pokemon game, right? Like, usually the only thing we hear any vocalization from is Pokemon, and it's their cries, and like it doesn't actually sound like... Ed Sheeran's song, I think, is the first time we've had a human voice in a Pokemon game, at least in like a mainline Pokemon game, which was interesting. And it's just the end credits, so it's like it's not that like groundbreaking or weird. I was neutral to it. I'm not like a massive Ed Sheeran fan or something. I don't like dislike him or anything. So I was like, cool. Shy Redwater, what's going on? Welcome to the stream. How you doing today? But yeah, no. So I think like overall, it's like I want to point to the bones of this game as like what Game Freak should continue trying to do, and point to most of the rest of it as fix this. Right, like it has. That's how I remember describing it. Like in the first couple weeks of the games being out, these games have some of the best bones any modern Pokemon game has had, but they're just like not. They just have like the worst exterior. And again, a lot of that could have been like fixed, right? I think people put too much blame, at least at first. I haven't seen or like really paid attention to what people are saying online when it comes to like people's opinions on the performance of the game since like around launch. I think a lot of people have been pointing to like, this is why we need a Switch Pro, but it's like not. Like, the game should run better than this. As like, one thing that I've always found, I don't notice like weird performance things in one direction, but then we'll very much notice them the other way. Be it like not noticing things improving slowly over time, and then noticing like a massive downturn. Or in the case of Pokemon, like, I didn't notice the difference in like visual quality of this with other games until I swapped Splatoon back into my Switch for a bit and went, oh, things look good. So like, yeah, there's a lot of things. Again, these games do a lot of things really well. I just wish the performance wasn't like so easy to point at as a problem, you know? So it's unfortunate that that's what happened. Hopefully they fix it. I don't know how much longer they can like really get away with this kind of problem. Because at this point that's what's happening, right? They're getting away with it. Like Sword and Shield had like community backlash, but it wasn't like, but there was a lot of like infighting amongst the community of like, it's actually fine, versus like, I think this one's got a lot more universal problems. When you play Splatoon 3, what's my go-to weapon? Splattershot. The original variant of the Splattershot, with Trizuka. I haven't really played Splatoon much since Pokemon came out. I want to get back into it. I think I had stopped playing Splatoon when Sonic came out, because like I'm gonna play all of Sonic, because I know that Sonic's gonna break my like muscle memory for the controller when playing Splatoon, like buttons and like stick sensitivity and stuff, all that good stuff. But then Pokemon came out, I played Pokemon, and then after Pokemon was done, I was like, and I just kind of played some more like PC games. I played Played all of Crash Bandicoot 4. I've been actually playing through Crash 1, 2, and 3 now. Played Hades. I've just kind of been taking a break. I might get back into Splatoon. What team am I choosing for the Splatfest coming up? I don't know. What is the Splatfest? Because I miss... Was there a December one? Was there one between the Pokemon one and then like the sweet, spicy, salty one? Or whatever it was? Because I played the Pokemon one. And then I just like... Once Season 2 came out, once like competitive Season 2 happened, I just didn't really play. And now I'm kind of scared to hop back in. Oddly addicted to your singing monsters. You've only had it on your PC for like 4 days. You're so invested in it. Should play Shiny Hunt while playing it. I mean, if you can multitask like that, go for it. Dark chocolate, milk chocolate, and white chocolate. Ooh, that makes sense with Valentine's Day. That makes a lot of sense with like Japanese Valentine's Day stuff. I'll probably go with white chocolate. I don't know. Who's the mascot for each of the teams? I should probably play. I might play some more Splatoon tonight. I might try it out. Singing Monsters. I played that so much when you were younger. Almost February 10th, February 12th. Okay, cool. It's been neat watching it become popular again. It's always interesting seeing that happen with older games. Like, is it just new people finding it? Or is it like mostly just like nostalgia bringing people back? Like, what's kind of the mix of it, you know? But yeah, I should get back into Splatoon. I enjoyed it a lot when I played it, but I definitely know I was kind of falling into the same like cycle as when I played Rocket League pretty competitively, of just like being like, I can enjoy other games as much as I enjoy Splatoon without getting as like heated as I'll get playing Splatoon. Same kind of thing happened with Rocket League when I started playing Pokemon Sun. I was like, I enjoy this just as much. My like blood pressure hasn't gone up, you know. Went viral on TikTok. That'll do it. That'll do it with pretty much anything. I wonder how my TikTok's doing. I posted like 3 Splatoon TikToks, and like that's the last thing I did on my account. And I just remember like people were not happy with the things that I said in some of them, and I was like, oh, okay. But it works. A lesson for everyone. If you want to be popular on the internet, make people mad. It works. As unfortunate as it is, that's honestly probably like the best advice. If you can upset some people with what you say in a way that makes them try to correct you, that's like the #1 way to like go viral on the internet. It's not healthy for like society that's how it is, but that's how it is. You know? Like, genuinely, I think one of mine hit like 300,000 views, and it was mostly because like half of the people were like, thank you for saying this, and the other half were like, this is the worst advice ever, oh my god, you're dumb. And so many of them were also just mad at me for playing with sticks, which I guess they could tell from like the way that my character was moving, but like I can't do motion controls in Splatoon, so I remember, I think for a while there I was so determined to like get to like super high ranks in Splatoon with sticks solely because like one person on TikTok's like, you play with sticks, your opinion's invalid, and I was like, that's not how this works, but okay. Okay. But yeah, I haven't opened my TikTok in like several months because I don't watch anything on it. Motion controls are more ideal when playing Splatoon. They are! I have a hand injury that prevents me from being able to comfortably play motion controls. Like, if I try to play motion controls, my hand, like, gets, like, very sore and weird feeling after, like, less than a match. It's weird. It acts up when it's cold. It acts up at the gym. my hand's just not happy and hasn't been happy with me for like almost a year now. So I can't do motion controls. Plus, I am so accustomed to like FPS controls from like playing games like Call of Duty and Halo and stuff in like middle and high school. So yeah, like I know that like for most people, like there's the argument of like, yeah, you played with sticks on most games, but like motion controls are better. I agree. Honestly, like controllers with joysticks are 100% the worst way to play a shooter. Absolutely terrible. I play keyboard mouse for like nearly every PC game that's not like a racing game because it's better. And yeah, motion controls are the equivalent for Switch games. When it comes to like shooters like Splatoon, I can't. Physically, I cannot. Because yeah, like there's always the argument of like once it clicks, and then suddenly you can't do it the other way. But it's like it's never gonna click before my hand like stops functioning. So unfortunately, I am very limited in that aspect. So yeah, at one point out of spite, I was like, I'm gonna become like S plus 50 with like sticks. But I don't think I hit a mechanical limit before I hit like a limit of just like not knowing how to properly play. When I hit S rank, like I hit S rank in season 1, pretty quickly, but then I hit a wall pretty hard, and it's so hard when you hit that wall and you go into like ranked debt. As much as like ranked debt's not really a thing, it's just like a weird way of visualizing you getting put back where you should be. I don't know. I'll have to give it a shot. I know I'm dropped to I think A rank at the moment because of the season reset. It'd be cool to get to X rank battles. But I don't know if I can handle. I don't know if I can pull that off. But yeah, I wish I could use motion controls, because really I just wish I hadn't like had a go-kart land on my hand. You know, in general, that would have been nice to have not had happen, but it did. So it is what it is. So it's nice. It's nice that at the very least you can still use like sticks with it. Maybe consider streaming the Splatfest and play with viewers. Maybe. I was pretty adamant about not streaming Splatoon back when it came out. I was like, I'm gonna tilt way too hard to like. I was like, I'm gonna tilt way too hard to be enjoyable on stream, but that's not the case. Y'all would really enjoy me tilting on stream. I know how content works. I don't know if like I would be happy having me tilting on stream. That's more of the limiting factor here. So, maybe. I'll consider it. Don't take that as any kind of promise. It may happen, it may not. I'd lean towards probably not. But it'd be interesting. It's a thought. It's something to think on. Yeah, run from February 10th to 12th. Yeah. Yeah, I just have to think about it. I have to figure out if I could. I don't know how that lines up with anything I've got going on, like schedule-wise. As well as, again, I don't know if I'm even going to be interested in doing it. But it's a thought. It's a thing to keep in the back of our minds. To like bring up maybe around closer to the time the Splatfest is happening, which I guess is only like 2 weeks away, so I guess it's kind of close, but you know, we'll figure it out. I am interested in hearing if you guys have any ideas of like things to make streams a bit more interesting. My thought is I'm just kind of slowly easing back into it. I don't think I'm going to have much of like a schedule in any kind of form with streams for a bit. I think it's just going to be when I feel like it. But But if you guys have any ideas of like interesting stream concepts, either around shiny hunting or around like just other games and stuff, we can try it and whatnot here on Twitch or wherever. I think it'd be interesting to try doing some to figure out some other kind of content and stuff, and like things to make streams interesting, right? Like I don't think I'm gonna do a ton of streams, so I think it'd be interesting to kind of come at it from the perspective of like very high quality streams, even if it's only like, you know, 6 to 8 hours a week of streaming, versus like, you know, some shiny hunters who go like 4 hours a day every day kind of thing. Like, just be like, you know, we have fun with it in like the 3 or 4 like 2 hour streams we do, or like, you know, 3 like 2.5 hour streams or something. Yeah, I think if you guys have ideas for that, I'll think on it. I'll talk with people who theoretically kind of not theoretically have helped me with ideas in the past and stuff, but like just trying to kind of make some interesting things. But today's just like a vibe day, just chilling out. Listen to some chill music. Hunt for some Pokemon, because I haven't like hunted for any Pokemon in these games since starting them, pretty much. I've found one shiny and it was just randomly. But I do enjoy this. I do enjoy just chilling with you guys, hanging out here like this. It is nice. It is nice to be able to do that. Because it's been a while. You know. As much as it was very, very nice to like just do other stuff. Finally home. Hey, that's awesome, Kevin. Glad you were finally relieved of duty. It's ridiculous that you had to do that in the first place. Also, how many boxes do I have of eggs? Oh my gosh, we got tons of boxes of eggs. Only 30 minutes late. Never even showed up. It was some guard you never met before. Maybe it's already been taken care of. Maybe they're just late. She's late again and got someone else. Still wild to have someone just be that consistently like late like that, man. Ridiculously had to put up with it. Girl's been working there for like 5 years. She's always been like this. Like, it's crazy how like people like that can last that long in a job, right? Like what is the thing that is keeping them there? Like, what are they doing that's keeping them there, you know? Not fun to talk to. Yeah, not even like a people person, not even someone who's like charisma is holding them there. That's wild, dude. That's wild. I should have the shiny charm, right? I think I've completed the decks. Yeah, I do have the shiny charm. I do have that. So this is And it's Masuda, so it's like 1 in 512 or something, I think. Yeah, 1 in 512. Numbers are still right. I haven't thought about these numbers in forever, I feel like. Because, like, BDSP, like, there was no need to think about charm numbers because they didn't matter for anything outside of eggs. RCSIs didn't care. Or I tried to care, but I just couldn't get into it. And then, yeah, then I just didn't really play this one up until, like, now. So I haven't really shiny hunted, but I think it's, what, 512? Masuda with charm? Also, are we done? Yeah, we're done. Okay. I need to keep better track of that. I've wasted so much time running around with, like, all the eggs hatched. The efficiency is just, like, through the floor. Talking about goals, and she said she doesn't care. Karen will work this job until she dies. That's an interesting take on a lot of stuff. I guess that's some people's mentality, sure. I don't relate to it, but okay. I've run into that bush I don't know how many times. But way more than that bush should be able to take without, like, falling over. Excuse me. I do like this. I do like the way that you can kind of, like, mix up the Masuda hunting here. So it's, like, not fully... So it's not, like, 100% one thing or the other, you know? It's kind of nice. I like it. Right, where it's, like, it's actually random which eggs are, like, in what order. Because, like, you couldn't do this you couldn't do this without a significant amount of effort in older games when it came to breeding eggs. And then it would be in, like, in those cases it would be in, like, a specific order, unless you, like, again went through even more effort to, like, randomize it, which just is more effort than it's worth versus, you know, like this where it's like it's genuinely kind of nice. So you're just like, I need eggs from these 3 Pokemon, so throw all 3 of those Pokemon into the picnic with a Ditto and just make, like, an egg sandwich. It's kind of nice. I do find it very strange that genuinely, like, the gameplay for getting eggs is make sandwich and leave system alone while you do something else for like 30 minutes. That part is weird to me. That part is very, very weird to me. Obviously, like, that's how the game decided to do it. That's how it works. Sandwiches are everything in these games for I don't know what reason. Like, literally every shop is just about making sandwiches, and every game mechanic is about sandwiches making the game mechanic more powerful. It's weird. It's weird. But, like, it does kind of make it nice where it's like, I could, like, it's funny how, like, collecting eggs in this game is, okay, set it up, put all the Pokemon I want in the picnic, and, you know, made the sandwich. Now time to go play, like, Hades or Crash or any other game that's not on my Switch for, like, 30 minutes and then check on the eggs. It's weird. Was that egg hatch, like, significantly longer? It felt like it was. Have I just not been paying attention to the egg hatches? Maybe I just wasn't paying attention to the hatches before. That felt like it was the same. So that was all of them. But this egg has to be shiny first. If you have 2 shinies in a row, you'll donate 10,000. 10k, but this egg has to be shiny first. Okay. Well. Let's see if Pokemon wants to be nice to me. And really mean to you. Some call it fake. Yeah. Dang. Hey, what's going on, Vanillix? Welcome to the stream, man. How you been? How's life? RIP 10k. Could have bought so many irresponsible things with that money. Made so many poor choices. Life's been okay. Gotcha, gotcha. Good to hear, good to hear. I know I've just been vibing for the past while. Took it chill through the holidays and everything, and into the new year, just kind of let things ride, just, you know, let things play out how they were gonna play out, and, you know, just tried to kind of tried to take it chill, you know. I think, like, Even though I feel like at the end of last year especially, I kind of like slowed down a lot on content. In general, it was still like, it was always something on my mind, you know? It's been a very long time. It has. I mean, it was like the day after, not even the day, it was legitimately like the day that like Scarlet Violet came out, right? I did the midnight stream and then I did one later. Like I did one the night, like midnight release, and then I did like more of the playthrough that next day, and then I just like was like, I'll finish on my own. We'll shiny hunt soon, guys. And then just like it is, I lost motivation to do it. It was just like, I need to take some time to just not do anything related to like content creation of any kind. Instead, just vibed, consumed content, and played games with like no pressure to be like, this should be a stream or anything. It was just, it was good. It was nice. It was nice to have that time. I've been slowly over the past few like months been trying to figure out like what's the best way to like come back to this. You know, like, cause I still want to do it and stuff. End of the year was just busy and wild. True. But yeah, no, it's good to be back. It's good. I've been trying to plan this exact stream for a while until like last night. I was just like, screw it. I'm going to put a thumbnail together and we're just going to wing it and see how it goes. And it's been all right. I mean, it's mostly just been kind of catching up with y'all because it's been a while. But yeah, it's been good. It's been good. So yeah, it's nice to just take a break every once in a while. Take a breather. Don't let things get too hectic. Building up a gear I'll be running for the carbon roller. Okay, cool. What's your ideas for it? I haven't really gotten too far into like gear, right? Like, I feel like at my skill level, gear isn't what's really making deciding factors on who wins and who loses. Obviously, at like top play, it matters more. Like, decently into X rank or like a high S pluses, it starts to matter a lot more. I know like it's hard to kind of like say top level. I know that the way that like the competitive community is structured is like what a casual player would view as top of the top is like mid level. Like people who are like S50, S plus 50 could be like mid tier players according to competitive kind of thing. Like I know that's the case, but like I feel like it doesn't matter until you're like mid S pluses, if not like genuinely like mid to high level like competitive. Max Ninja Squid's swim speed. Okay, yeah, I guess that makes sense with the roller. Carbon's got a pretty short range too, doesn't it? It's just all about speed, right? Am I remembering that correctly? Because I tried rollers, they were interesting, but they weren't super my thing. I think I really kind of honed it on splatter shot pretty quickly. And did alright with it. I did okay. I think I was getting a little bit too... I think I was starting to have a lot more issues with, like, obviously the mechanical skill side of it, right? Like we talked, I don't use motion control. I can't really use motion control. It would take a significant amount of effort for me to learn it, more than like the normal amount, because I'd have to like finagle with stuff more and figure out. I'd have to do more than just like hold the controller the way that everyone online says to hold the controller, you know? So like I haven't really like gotten too deep into that. So like chargers and splatlings are out of the question. I can't play them. So like I'm pretty locked to short range, and like splatter shot feels like a good like all-rounder for me as far as like the range in which I can play. So yeah, I hadn't really messed with... The most I've messed with gear is finding like good looking fits. That's been about it. I haven't really like... I haven't like looked at gear from the perspective of like every little like attribute on it being right. Like I haven't really scrubbed stuff or done anything like that. I've just like bought clothes that I don't have and like worn them and been like, this looks dope. This is a good fit. And then I wear it for a bit, get tired of it, and make a new one. And that's the effort I put in to gear in Splatoon, is what looks cool. So very much a casual player in that sense. But yeah, maybe probably not tonight, but maybe tomorrow I'll play a little bit of Splatoon. Yeah, try to get back into it. A little bit warm up for the Splatfest, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if I decide to do that. Fell off Splatoon hard, not gonna lie. I mean, I did too. I played it real heavily through September and October, and played it for a chunk of November. It's funny, my Steam replay shows September / I think October actually. It was October. That just showed 0 hours played on Steam, and it was because every hour I was playing video games, I was playing Splatoon, or playing like something for stream, you know? Like that's what I was doing. So it's funny, it's like, I wonder what that was that I remembered. Oh yeah, Splatoon happened, and like I played a ton of that. But after that, Sonic Frontiers came out, and I said, screw it, I'm just gonna buy it, not knowing anything about it, and played a good bit of that until Pokemon came out. And in that time, I was like, I recognized like Sonic was going to be messing with my muscle memory for Splatoon. I had kind of hit a wall competitively in Splatoon when I hit S rank. So like, to me it was like, okay, take a bit of a break and then come back to it. And I just never came back to it. I think it kind of falls into the same category as like why I kind of stopped playing Rocket League, of like, I really enjoy it, but there are other games I enjoy close, like in a similar amount, without like getting stressed, like genuinely getting like frustrated and upset with Splatoon at points, you know? So it's like, all right, let's just kind of like pump the brakes. So yeah, maybe I'll get back into it. I don't know. The Xbox Developer Direct? Nah, I don't really follow. I actually really don't follow a lot of gaming news that isn't like, I follow Nintendo Directs for Pokemon, or for any kind of references for Pokemon stuff. Which are usually Pokemon Directs anyways, because I know you guys are interested in Nintendo stuff, obviously, and a lot of my friends are, so like I follow Nintendo ones, but there's so many other video game things. It's like, I don't have an Xbox, so unless like something gets announced as coming to PC, I don't really care. Really, unless they announce Silk Song stuff, I don't care. Just try to follow gaming news in general, because I like to keep up to date. That's fair, that's fair. I've never been one to like really feel the need to keep up to date outside of Pokemon stuff, just because, yeah, Pokemon. But yeah, do they mention Silk Song? If they mentioned Silk Song, you have my interest. If they didn't, I know there's a new Forza. I know Halo's still a mess. You know, like, that's all I care. Xbox games basically come to PC now. That's true. We do get Game Pass. Fortunately, no Silk Song. Yeah. I wasn't expecting anything. I feel like at this point, we've seen enough of Silk Song that any more announcements about Silk Song that aren't Silk Song comes out on insert date are just dragging us along, right? Like, Silk Song came up in Xbox's whole presentation over the summer last year, where they're like, everything announced in this presentation will come out within the next like year. like is slated for the next year, right? And like that's when they showed off Silksong. Like that was cool. And that's the last thing I need to hear until they give us a date or they just say, hey, it's out now, surprise. Like, you know, aside from that, it's like we've seen so many of the environments. I don't want them to like continue to like spoil. I don't want them to like spoil things, you know. So like, I think we are genuinely at a point where it's like unless like the announcement is it comes out on, you know, this date, don't tell me anything. So that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at with it at this point. So that's kind of what I was hoping. Is like if they mentioned Silksong, hopefully it was an announcement date. But if they didn't mention it at all, then yeah. I've got plenty of games on my PC to play anyways. I don't need to be looking at new ones. I need to be saving money. I have a plane ticket to buy, so like saving money time. I feel like gaming's been in a slump for a bit, but like it's the end of the year, beginning of the year, it's slow, not too worried. I don't really know what slump you're talking about. Like, if you're talking about like not a lot of games coming out in January, yeah, that's yearly, or December, that's yearly. But like the last like major like release time, we got some good stuff, right? Like Sonic Frontiers was received pretty well. We actually just got a Fire Emblem game like a week or two ago, right? Like that's not a big deal. Had to grind a lot of ability slots so to get specific gear seeds. Oh, true. I guess and that's what Splatfests are good for. Maybe we got like Ragnarok in November. Yeah, got Sonic in November. Big time. I mean, there's a lot of games that are coming out. I think it's just like it is so like bursty, right? Like November's a big release time. March is kind of a big release time a lot of the time. It's like a big backup release time. I think there's just like a lot of the franchises I follow have released their games for the year or for the next few years, and that's just kind of it. It's like, okay, I'll play some more indie stuff and everything. I know. Oh, we haven't talked since like the Game Awards happened, and like what Reformed Orthodox Reverend or Rabbi. Yeah, Reformed Orthodox Rabbi Bill Clinton. But yeah, no, I mean, like, we got Hades 2 as an announcement then, which I didn't care about at the time, but now that I've played Hades, I'm really excited for. Man, a lot of stuff has happened. Forgot about that, right? But yeah, no, like, there's been a lot of stuff. There has genuinely been a lot of stuff. Alright, I've definitely... yeah, I've hatched all the eggs. We probably got like 1 or 2 more columns of eggs in this. Thought he was going to be popular, but he fell off hard after the trend wave. I mean, no one knew his name. At least I don't know his name. Yeah, like... Yeah, that's not the way to, like, start, like, a viral career. It's like, it's a thing. No, it's not. Like, you have to go into that as a prank show. You know his name? Neat. But yeah, like... You have to go into that with that being the intended peak. You can't expect that to be, like, the start to something. But it's so wild that happened. Like, I was about to turn it off. I'm like, okay, yeah, Elden Ring's talking, blah, 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 you know. They deserved it and all that, but no one talks about it anymore. Yeah, I mean, why would you? It was the Game Awards, right? It's not like it's the biggest thing ever, you know. It was interesting, really, that's the thing, right? On the internet, unless you're doing stuff consistently that the internet talks about, you're not really doing anything that the internet cares about, right? Like, the days of, like... The days of one viral thing keeping you relevant for years are long gone. Long gone. right? Like the internet moves a mile a minute. It doesn't happen. Still a little salty that the game legitimately deserved that year kind of got ruined. Nah, I don't think it really got ruined. Obviously, yeah, it was weird, but like they were starting to leave the stage. From everything I could tell, they were winding down. They finished up their speech. They were starting to kind of leave the stage, and he just took the mic on their way out. That's what I remember. Hey, what's going on, Art? How you doing? How've things been? See, I wouldn't really say it got ruined, but like, yeah, I mean, if the dude expected that to like slingshot him into like internet fame, nah, man, that's not happening. The way you do that is like, you have to do things that get like memed, right? You have to do something that becomes a soundbite, that becomes like a soundbite or like a massive like duet thing on TikTok. You have to have a stream clip that goes wild on LSF, and you got to do it multiple times, right? Like, you have to do something that grabs people, and then you have to keep holding on to them. Good luck. Good luck if your one bit is like crashing an award show. Maybe they snuck on with the fact that they didn't cut the mic is crazy. The fact that they didn't cut the mic was weird, right? Like, that mic should have cut the moment they were done talking. But man walked up with confidence. Like, that's the perfect example of if you act like you are where you're supposed to be. Like, if you act like you're supposed to be there, you get away with a lot. Mom wanted to go to the store. What'd you miss? Not much. I recommended watching The Owl House. If you weren't here for that, I recommend watching The Owl House. Aside from that, we've hatched a bunch of Pokemon from eggs, surprisingly. Didn't know that's what was going to come out of them. But yeah, we've just been chilling and talking, catching up some more. Yeah, I mean, for maybe a week. Yeah, it is a meme in like gaming circles, right? Which, as much as like early 2010s, like gaming was the space to make waves in, not anymore. Not anymore. You've got to be something that you on your own is a cultural phenomenon, right? And it's hard to get like virality in the sense of like anything at this point, right? Like, the internet is so big and so segmented in a lot of ways, right? You could be massive in terms of Pokemon and gaming on the whole, and like 70% of the internet would be like, who are you talking about? What? Who's that? And it's like, they have this, how many people? What? How have I never heard of them? And it's like, yeah, it's like, there are channels with 50 million subscribers that I've never heard of. They speak a different language, they're in a different country, they just do things I do not care about. I have no clue. Outside of like the people who are massive in like the beauty and makeup space during like controversies, I have no clue who's in that space. Yeah, I know that space is still massive, right? Like, there are channels that I've been subscribed to for years that my friends, who I would imagine are a very similar demographic to me, both as like in terms of like demographics and in terms of interests, they haven't heard of them, or like they hear of them, like, oh, you didn't know about them? And like, oh, I just found them this week. It's like, I've been subscribed to them for 12 years now. What? Like, the internet's just so big now. Honestly surprised that Legends got nominated for Best RPG. I was pretty happy also. I voted against it. I know, I'm a traitor, but I was so not a fan of Arceus by the time I was done with it. I am kind of surprised that happened, but I think so many people were just like, thank you, Pokemon, for doing something different. And I think the big thing is, it was an RPG. It wasn't like a Pokemon RPG. I think that's like one of the bigger things, right? Maybe? I don't know. So it fell into all the same pitfalls that make me like not interested in a lot of RPGs. It's just like, not my thing, you know? I forget what I voted for. I genuinely forget what I voted for in that category. I think I voted for Tunic and Stray and a lot of stuff. like, we all know Stray was kind of a meme nomination. It's like, it was an interesting concept. It's a game where you are Cat, and that's like the whole thing. And it's like, yeah, if it's like a $30 game that like you get a little bit of fun out of, like nifty, like that's it, you know. Xenoblade 3 is best RPG. I've never played Xenoblade, or I've only played like a few minutes of like Xenoblade Chronicles 1. So like, I haven't really played. I haven't played enough to make a. Guy GameStop asked if you wanted to take a poster of the Kirby that's coming out later this year, and you said yes. Heck yeah, dude. Heck yeah. How do you say Legends Arceus isn't your thing? Sun Country's ours. You stab that into my back. yeah. How dare you like something different from me on that is not allowed. It's wild how many people like genuinely hold that as like an opinion. How dare you like something I don't like, or how dare you not like? How dare you like something that I don't like, or how dare you like not like something I like? People take things too personally. But yeah, no, it's cool to see Pokemon got that nomination. It is cool at the end of the day. As much as I wouldn't mind there not being another game done in the style of Legends, or at least not without like significant changes. It's neat. Like, it's neat to see Pokemon still that well regarded. It's nice to see that. And, like, that has to be a pretty big message to Nintendo. I know that, like, Game Freak and Pokemon Company, like, I know that company culture with, like, massive companies like Nintendo and stuff, and, like, I keep saying Nintendo because I know there's probably a lot of pull within Pokemon Company with them and everything, but, like, individual properties and, like, fan opinions don't necessarily drive everything. Money drives everything, right? But, like, you have to assume that they recognize that the game where they seem to actually try and put a little bit more effort in, even again if it's not something I like, got recognized. Like on a massive level. Like people recognized and went, this is a good game. This is something we want more of. You know, like it genuinely got that. Happy that Bayonetta won an award and also got another game coming out, but Elden Ring getting Game of the Year was nice. Was your favorite game you played in a while? Elden Ring 100% deserved it. As someone who, again, not a massive fan of like Souls games, loved the bit of Elden Ring that I played. Did not finish it. I would have to restart it if I wanted to try to finish it. I loved Elden Ring. It's such a good game. It deserves it. It 100% deserves it. The amount of effort that goes into making a world like that play as well as it did, oh my god. Deserves Game of the Year every day of the week. I think it is very fair how most of the awards split between God of War and Elden Ring. There were two juggernauts when it came to like nominations, and I think it's very fair that like Elden Ring I think was overall a more impressive experience and a more impressive like accomplishment as a game. Ragnarok, but like intentionally a lot of that is kind of it's an open world, you can do this, here's like a neat story, but it's not super duper in depth, you know, that kind of stuff. So like, you know, but like God of War Ragnarok is a very intense and deep narrative. So I think the fact that a lot of the story-based ones and a lot of the writing and directing ones went to Ragnarok, but then like overall game, yeah, 100% Elden Ring all day long. Played the first beta last year, so you get the hype now. Ragnarok was amazing story-wise, but gameplay was just 2018 mostly. I just bought 2018 as part of like the like, you know, New Year's Steam sale, along with Hades, and it's on my list of things to play after I finish up some of the other games I bought from that sale. But yeah, so I'm gonna play 2018. Hopefully Ragnarok comes to PC within like a year or two. I assume it'll be like the same kind of timeline for 2018 coming to PC. And then I can play it. We'll see. We'll see if I like 2018 in the first place. But I'm interested in it. I'm interested in trying out a game like that. Bayonetta 1 was just off the rails crazy. I need to try a Bayonetta game. I've never played Bayonetta. I also there was all that controversy with like the new one, right? Like Wasn't it like the voice actress said, like, they offered me this much money and I didn't, and I thought that was like a disrespect, and then they hired like another more well-known like voice actress, and like they're clearly doing this or whatever, and then it came out that like she was like insufferable to work with, or was like very much like not telling like the full story when she was like complaining about it. Man, dumped like 400 hours in total with all the games. Nice. But yeah, like, I kind of followed that. I remember being like, wow, she seems to have gotten, like, the short end of the stick. Why would they do this? But then, like, seeing other stuff come out that it's like, oh, maybe it's not the case, you know. It's been that long. I haven't heard that story in a minute. Dude, it's... The last day I streamed was, like, November 19th. I don't know if you're aware, but it's almost February. I didn't stream for any of December, and like half of November, and almost all of January. If I waited until Wednesday to stream, it would be January. Or I would have missed another whole like calendar month. Yeah, too much has happened. It's crazy how much has happened, yet at the same time, like I think back and I'm like, wow, a lot of the things I feel like took a lot of time, like didn't, you know? It's weird. It's weird always thinking that way, you know? Like when you think about like a massive amount of time together versus thinking about like individual things and how it like changes that. Man, I'm so sore right now. So like last year, for most of the summer, I was going to the gym pretty much like every weekday almost. Like 4 or 5 times a week, and I was doing all right with it, but like around September I like stopped, and like I kind of picked it back up in October and November, and then I like along with like literally everything else that stopped, I just kind of stopped in November and went through the holidays without doing anything, and then like I did not want to start back up. Like I was like, all right, it's like almost Christmas, I'm not gonna start the gym now, but like and then we hit New Year's. I'm not starting again, like, the first week of January. I don't want to look like a new guy. Ian's made it traditional to go on hiatus for months and come back for a day or two, and then a few more months. Don't predict it again, Juan. I kind of want to be, like, back. I think my idea with going back to streaming right now is, like, trying to consistently do a little less than I used to, you know? Like we kind of hit a point like before, right, where I was going like 4 or 5 times a week. I don't think I'm gonna do that. 2-3 times a week. Not like longer to compensate for it either. We're gonna stream 4 to 6 hours a week, maybe 8 on like big weeks, you know, and inconsistently. Prove me wrong. I like being wrong sometimes. I'll prove you right. No, but like I'm kind of thinking about that as like an idea. As like you know, just let's mix it, just something that's more like manageable. I don't know if that's gonna be better or worse, right? Because I'm also someone who's like a massive creature of habit, and if like I do something every day, I don't feel like I'm doing something every day, you know. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll try it out. But like I was saying, I finally started going back to the gym like last week. Y'all, it's been so rough. I changed up the routine and just kind of tried to pick up where I left off as much as I could. You know, drop weights obviously because I haven't been in like 2 months. Man, so many parts of like everything. Like today was leg day. My arms are sore. Like that's the level of like catch up I gotta do. Still waiting for Mel to make another video. She streamed on Twitch like 2 or 3 weeks ago, just randomly. She played Skyrim apparently for several hours. I didn't know this. Granted, she did it entirely while I was asleep, but yeah. If you can find her on Twitch, maybe you can see her stream randomly Japan time. Yeah, I enjoyed it when she did her little stream, but yeah, if it wasn't her thing, it wasn't her thing. But yeah. Man, I'm really bad at like counting to 5 right now. I think we're gonna finish up this box here. How many boxes have we done? So what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're on our 5th box. That's not bad. That's what, 150 eggs? $150 eggs, not bad for a 2-hour stream. It'd be better if I like actually like counted to 5. But yeah, because there's like a little bit of a gap between the eggs hatching, like I'm not remembering to like swap. Recently bought Bayonetta 1 again for the PS4, and on the first chapter you got 4 trophies by the end of the chapter. Nice. No, it is funny. I had a similar experience with, I got the Insane Trilogy for Crash as part of, again, that Steam sale. I was like, I'll have it on PC. It has Steam achievements. I'd kind of like to get Steam achievements, because that's like a thing for me for some reason. I'm like, if I buy the game somewhere, but then it comes out on Steam with achievements, I'll buy it again on Steam to get it with achievements. So I bought it to get Steam achievements. It's funny that, like, I got a bunch of achievements very quickly, but it was missing, like, the second and, like, third most, like, common achievement in the game, and it's like, die to this enemy that, like, I know how to handle because I've played the game several times before. And so it's funny how that works, but at the same time, like, the, you know, perfect a level kind of thing, like, was like the first time I played a level. So what does my camera saying? There's an animal at my back. Let's see. Let's see if my camera saw something interesting. Oh, it's a cat. Can I zoom in? Oh, it's a cat. Oh, oh no. Psst, 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 psst. Kitty. Psst, psst. Oh yeah. Yeah, here's the cat. Cat. I was like, I wonder if I can talk to it through like the intercom on the speaker. Already 12% done it on chapter 1. Dang. You're gonna get like the perfect the game and finish the game for the first time like at the same moment. The other day, I think I shared it on Discord, I don't know, but I had like the same thing go off with my camera, like for my back porch, and I went to look, I'm like, oh, it's a deer or it's a cat, like those are the common ones I get. And there's just a possum. There was a possum, like washing its face in a bowl that was just sitting on my deck. The same bowl that cat was drinking out of, funnily enough. But yeah, it was fascinating. I just got a picture that looked like I disturbed it and woke it up. Is this another egg? Nope, we got them all. Alright, last batch of eggs here, guys. Then I'm gonna hop off for the night. We've been streaming about 2 hours. I can tell that my voice is not used to doing this. So yeah, let's see if we can get a shiny here first stream back. But if not, we'll get back on it. We'll do some more later this week probably. Just vibe, have a good time. Oh yeah, I don't think I mentioned this. Another thing that happened in like the gap of me being gone, I finished 3rd in my racing league for the year. Technically hard and non-stop, but infinite climax difficulties are locked until you beat normal. Ah, true. Need to play the story for like 5 times for pure platinums. Fair. But yeah, so I finished third in my racing league for the year. Felt good. Do you get crushed by a cart again? No, I still just have the injury from the first time it happened. We were talking earlier about Splatoon 1, and Ash was mentioning how, like, yeah, like, motion controls are so much better for it, which, like, I won't argue against. I have no reason to argue against that, but man, I cannot use them. I just cannot. Wanting to drive for Ferrari in the F1, I would never want to drive for Ferrari. Have you seen their strategy? Their strategy team is terrible. Did you see how much Seb's hairline went away when he was at Ferrari? Nah, I don't think I could ever drive like in like a racing series like that. One, because I did not start as a child. Two, I am way too tall to lose enough weight to like hit their like weight targets. When I get to the S rank in Splatoon 2, you instantly got ranked down because of internet connection. Oh man, that sucks. I had a match when I was going through A rank for the first time. I landed with a series of people that were so good to play with. It was so good. But I think we lost one to like internet connection one round. And it was so sad. Like we were gonna go like 5-0, but we ended up going 4-1 and having to like bring someone else in for the final round because like I think on like a tower control, one of our teammates just disconnected and everyone's like, why are we getting pushed so hard? And it's like, oh, someone's gone. I felt so bad for them because like we were doing so well and it's not like they wanted. I doubt they wanted to drop. We were winning. But, you know, it is what it is. Splatoon's internet connection is not exactly known for being solid. I know they fixed it a little bit, but Splatoon 3's internet connection is still not great. But also, I'm running around with Pokemon that have already hatched in my party. Let's see. But yeah, so let's swap back over here. Yeah. Also, I think some of you guys are gone. I want to show off the shelves I made again. No one was here. No one commented on them. I'm quite upset. But I lit up these shelves. I put the lights in them. It took so long. It took so long to do because I had to be extra, and these are like fully smart controllable lights. But yeah, like, yeah, like they tie in with the rest of my lights and everything. I could have bought like LED strips that were the right length from like Home Depot that were just on or off. But I was like, no, I want these to be like RGB. I want them to have like warm and cool white, and I want them to be able to be dimmed with my Home Assistant instance. So like, this is not a good moment. That or the TV's this isn't a good moment because like I was just like making them work so they weren't hooked up to anything. But like, now, if I'm like watching TV, if I'm watching the TV and I hit play, it dims all the lights in that room. Like turns the shelves lights off and everything. It looks nice. Thank you. Thank you. I'm very proud of how they turned out. The wiring probably could have been a little bit neater. I might fix it at some point, but right now it's fine. It works. It's good. Can I get... Yeah. But it works. It's good. I'm happy with it. Yeah. But ignore the mess. The mess is gone. Things are back on the shelves now. But yeah, so that was my project last weekend, and also really for like a while, because oh my gosh, it took so much time to get that working. Are we just the same? Okay, it's just on there twice because it was But yeah, that was fun. It was fun talking with you guys again. It's been so long since we've done anything. Also, this sweater is so soft, guys. I love this sweater. I also like the woven like pattern on it, but so soft. But yeah, it was good talking with you guys. It was good playing Pokemon again. I haven't really played Pokemon since Like the game came out. See you in 5 months. No, you'll see me once, like next week, and then I'll be gone for a year. No, no, we'll figure out. I need to stream a Persona 5 Let's Play. It's 100 plus hours of free content. I have had to promise so many people that I'm gonna play Persona 5. I know James/Code Monkey is like wanting me to play it. I know Mel really wants me to play it. Prove me wrong. I gotta prove you wrong now, man. But now you want me to play it. I don't know if I'd stream that game. I have no ties to the Persona franchise outside of like a few hours of like Persona 4. I'm more of the mindset that I think that's going to be a game for me to like play on the couch when Mel's back in the country, so we can hang out and talk and enjoy it together. That's my thought on that game. I might be thinking too far into it. I don't know, but yeah, my thought there is I'll probably be you're asking to be wrong. Then am I proving you wrong? I don't know how this works. but yeah, no. So, but yeah, it's stream ideas. 100% welcome. I would love as many ideas as people have. One thing I mentioned earlier, and I know I mentioned again when you were in here, Juan. If you guys have ideas, bring back V8. No. That's gone. But yeah, if you guys have ideas for streams, like I mentioned earlier, I like the idea of like sticking to shorter amounts of them, but be consistent with them and make them as interesting as I can for those hours that I am streaming. That's my idea. That's my thought for now, is like, if we can make interesting ideas, unique ideas, things that are kind of catchy and interesting and like new and constantly kind of keeping it like fresh, be it around Pokemon or other games or whatever we do, we could try anything we want, honestly. You still owe us a V8 sip. Oh, the internet did die for it, didn't it? Yeah, that stuff went bad. Vodka shot for every shiny reset. I don't drink, maybe otherwise. I don't know if you can do that on YouTube. I know Twitch is already kind of iffy on like drinking games and stuff. I don't know if YouTube's happy with it. I know like Twitch is like you can't do like a shot for every sub gifted and stuff like that, but I don't know how drinking games fall into that, if it relates to like the content you're doing. I don't know. But I don't drink anyways, so that's like not even a question on the table. But yeah, so it's fun. If you don't call it what the drink is, that's fair. That's fair. If it's just water shots, you know. But yeah. So, yeah. Any ideas? Obviously, post them in Discord. I think same kind of thing is what I was trying to look at over the summer with all the Twitch things. If content is interesting, if content's like in a way where it's interesting and can be a stream that then can break down into content on other platforms, that's the best kind of stream, where I just have to make content once and then it's everywhere. It's on YouTube, Shorts, TikTok, because I think Shorts just is about to start implementing their new better monetization thing, so I might try that more. Liquid Death, indeed, it is water. It is fizzy water in a can, which I prefer over bottles. But yeah, it was good hanging out with you guys. It's good to just kind of talk and chill, even a little bit after the game. I'm probably gonna get going here soon. I woke up. Y'all are gonna roll your eyes when I say I woke up early at like 8:30, but like that was early for a Saturday for me, given that I have to be up at like 7 on weekdays to work. I'm tired. I wanna like make a snack and play some games with like the lights turned down and then just like not do anything, you know. But it's good. It's good talking with you guys. I really am happy to be streaming again. I'm glad I scheduled this one. I've been meaning to schedule this one since like the start of the year. It's always like, oh, I'll do it next week, and I just didn't. But now that we've done it again, I think it'll be kind of nice to get back into it more. But yeah, so again, thanks everyone for chilling out. I'm gonna get going. Y'all have a good rest of your night with whatever you're doing. You wake up at 5 or 6 a.m. every day, man. So I'm not a morning person, man. I also can't fall asleep until like 2, so it's rough. that math does not check out to a healthy sleep schedule. But yeah, thank you guys so much for hanging out. It was good talking with you again. No ETA on the next stream, but hopefully soon. So thanks everyone for being here. Talk to you all again soon, and until next time, take care.